And we are back. Pokemon Fire Red, Hardcore Nuzlocke, only poison types. It comes down to the final member of the Elite Four in Lance and the champion, our rival. And here we go. We send out Nidoking. Gamma doing so much work in this run, comes in with a 4x super protective Thunderbolt, eats the Intimidate like it's nothing, and we do outspeed the Gyarados, so the Sea Leviathan falls. A really good start, 1 down, 4 to go. The Aerodactyl comes out next, and we have a lot of super effective options for this. It really just depends which one we want, and we're going to go for that Thunderbolt just in case we get the paralysis so we can outspeed the next turn, and we bring Aerodactyl below 50 HP. That's what you want to see, 50% anyway. We get the Poison Point on top and the Thunderbolt to fade away, and Gamma still floating around above 50% as well, so that is looking pretty good. The Dragonite comes down. We do have a 4x super effective Ice Beam as long as we outspeed the Chubby Dragon here. It is Dragon Tails, but we do not kill in one shot. However, the Dragonite gets greedy for a Safeguard, which is monumental, because if it went for like an Outrage or something, we might have just lost our Nidoking. However, the Safeguard is going to be its final mistake, and it falls. Nidoking breaks into the level 60 benchmark there, and Dragonair comes down. Ice Beam is only going to be 2x super effective. However, it's not as scary as a Dragonite, as it holds on with about 10 HP to its name, landing a nice Dragon Rage on top. The Citrus Berry healing us almost back to half HP. Lance uses the full restore on the Dragonair as we respond with another Ice Beam here, bringing it back into the red. Another full restore comes down here. Lance not wanting to lose its beautiful blue dragon here, as another Ice Beam brings it under 10 HP. The Safeguard wears off, and the Ice Beam finally finishes off this Dragonair, leaving not champion, but leaving the final member of the Elite Four, Lance, with yet another Dragonair. And we have so many healthy options at this point. We just pivot into Nidoking's counterpart with the Nidoking here. Sigma drops back with an Ice Beam. And can the Dragonair survive? It absolutely can. Floating around 5 HP, comes in with a stab Outrage. It's not enough to even hurt the beefy Nidoking with a fadeaway critical there. You'll love to see it. And that is it for the Elite Four all over the place in this fight, but really just paving the way for this champion battle. And it just comes down to us versus our rival, 6v6. Let's do this thing. And it all comes down to this. 6 Pokemon versus 6 Pokemon for the win. To complete this Hardcore Nuzlocke only using Poison-type Pokemon, the Pidgeot comes down versus our Nidoking here. And we've got the Ice Beam and Thunderbolt lined up here. We have options. We go with the Thunderbolt. We just need the 2-shot. We bring Pidgeot to about a 1/3 HP. The Feather Dance comes down, so now our Shadow Balls will be doing less damage. However, our other 3 moves are going to be just fine. They're going to be unaffected because they are special, and we clear the Pidgeot. Unfortunately, the Alakazam does come down, and we do need the Shadow Ball to do tons of damage, but that Feather Dance doing absolute work, as well as the Reflect is also. So now Shadow Ball is going to be doing what, potentially a 1/4 of its damage, but the Fadeaway Surf Critical completely negating the Feather Dance and the Reflect and bypassing Alakazam's ridiculous special defense stat, as Rhydon comes down and is just a complimentary dish to the Nidoking feast here. Ridiculous stuff. 3 Pokemon gone in an instant, and our rival is completely on the back foot as Nidoking is ripping the crown from him. And the Giga Drain does come down as we get Executor into a really good range. Can this Ice Beam snipe from that range? And it almost can, leaving about 1 HP, but the Sleep Powder misses. Nidoking sidesteps as the Reflect falls away, and we are looking for potentially a Shadow Ball, as there is no physical defense in the way now. The full restore healing Executor all the way back, but we're still going for the Ice Beam, maybe for the potential freeze here. And the Bundle of Seas, the Palm Tree, cannot withstand, and it falls. Nidoking 1v4 right now, an absolute showing, and the Gyarados comes down, and we do have a super effective Thunderbolt lined up. Is this going to be a 1v6 sweep? I don't know. The Gyarados does hold on with that really nice special defense, but it is a stab super effective Hydro Pump, and we cannot survive that. Gamma falls, but takes almost the entire team with him, an absolute king to the very end. And now we send out his counterpart, Nidoqueen. I might have got caught up in the moment there, as we do not have a super effective Thunderbolt like we would have with the Gengar, so we just go with a neutral Ice Beam, and this was probably a terrible idea, as if Gyarados just uses another Hydro Pump, I do believe we lose Sigma, but we're going to go ahead and get some Shadow Balls down, just chipping the Sea Leviathan down, as we do have plenty of options in this fight now. And there is the stab super effective Hydro Pump, and like father, like son, I should say, like Gamma and Sigma, both Nidoking and Nidoqueen falling to the Sea Leviathan and the Hydro Pump, but Gengar, it is a clean swap in, and a outsped Gengar to a Gyarados is nothing, and the Thunderbolt breaks down the Gyarados. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point, but the Charizard, the ace comes down level 63. The iconic Fire Dragon holds on from the Thunderbolt and goes for it all with the Fire Blast, but misses. This Ghost just completely sidesteps. You can't touch him. You can't see him. And one more Thunderbolt will do the trick. Charizard falls. Our rival is defeated. And that is a Pokemon Fire Red Hardcore Nuzlocke, only using poison types. Absolute mouthful there, but we do complete this Nuzlocke. And wow, it did take us about 6 tries, really 2 full attempts, as it really just, it was a hard fought battle there just to get out of Pallet Town sometimes with that Bulbasaur versus Charmander fight. I know some people don't even count it until you get Pokeballs, but I like to count the first fight as well. It just makes it a lot funner. So that is the 6th and final attempt there. We do secure the win, and that was just a lot of fun. It was super interesting. Especially when it came time to swap, because any psychic move is just like a firing range, because if you try to clean swap, then somebody's going to have to tank that, and whenever like we ran into Alakazam, it made for some super fun scenarios with that. But as we saw with Beedrill, just basically one-shotting everything on Sabrina's team, that was really nice. And then the Silphco rival fight was probably one of the funnest fights, as it was just so close and we had to sacrifice Arbok or else. But yeah, I think the underrated thing to take from this run really was the moveset potential with the poison types. As you saw in the Gengar, the Nidoking, the Nidoqueen there, they had access to some incredible diverse movesets to where the coverage was off the charts, and really they could just one-man army. And yeah, really, Nidoking and Gengar doing so much work. I think the rest of the team was there as well. Tentacruel was such a important pivot, as it was the only water type on the team. So I will take that. Had so much fun with this run. And now I'm not going to spoil what comes next. You'll just have to wait for that. But it is going to be a whole lot of fun and be very enjoyable. So as always, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you on the flip. Peace.